The most terrifying thing that can happen to any being, human or otherwise, during its lifetime, is to lose power. Before there was fiat currency, before there was government office, what have you, power, raw, brute strength, was the ultimate status symbol. As such, the three poems I'm presenting today all deal with the trauma that the loss of power inflicts on both the one who loses it and the world around them. The first poem I'll be presenting is H.P. Lovecraft's Nemesis. Through the ghoul-guarded gateways of slumber, past the wane-mooned abysses of night, I have lived all my lives without number. I have sounded all things with my sight, and I struggle and shriek ere the daybreak, being driven to madness with fright. I have whirled with the earth at the dawning, when the sky was a vaporous flame. I have seen the dark universe yawning, where the black planets roll without aim, where they roll in their horror unheeded, without knowledge or luster or name. I have drifted o'er seas without ending, under sinister grey-clouded skies, that the many-forked lightning is rending, that resound with hysterical cries, with the moans of invisible demons, that out of the green waters rise. I have plunged like a deer through the arches of the hoary primordial grove, where the oaks feel the presence that marches, and stalks on where no spirit dare rove. And I flee from a thing that surrounds me, and leers through dead branches above. I have stumbled by cave-ridden mountains, that rise barren and bleak from the plain. I have drunk of the fog-fetid fountains, that ooze down from the marsh and the main. And in hot-cursed tarns I have seen things I care not to gaze on again. I have scanned the vast ivy-clad palace, I have trod its untenanted hall, where the moon writhing up from the valleys shews the tapestried things on the wall, strange figures discordantly woven, which I cannot endure to recall. I have peered from the casement in wonder at the mouldering meadows around, at the many-roofed village laid under the curse of a grave-girdled ground. And from rows of white urn-carven marble, I listen intently for sound. I have haunted the tombs of the ages. I have flown on the pinions of fear, where the smoke-belching Erebus rages, where the jokels loom snow-clad and drear, and in realms where the sun of the desert consumes what it never can cheer. I was old when the pharaohs first mounted the jewel-decked thrones by the Nile. I was old in those epochs uncounted when I, and I only, was vile. And man, yet untainted and happy, dwelt in bliss on the far Arctic isle. Oh, great was the sin of my spirit, and great is the reach of its doom. Not the pity of heaven can shear it, nor can respite be found in the tomb. Down, down the infinite eons come beating the wings of unmerciful gloom. Through the ghoul-guarded gateways of slumber, past the wane-mooned abysses of night, I have lived all my lives without number. I have sounded all things with my sight, and I struggle and shriek ere the daybreak, being driven to madness with fright, being driven to madness with fright. My second poem is Percy Shelley's Ozymandias. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculptor well those passions red which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear: My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair." Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. My third and final poem is Gunga Din by Rudyard Kipling. Oh, you may talk of gin and beer when you're quartered safe out here, and you're sent to penny fights and Aldershot it. But when it comes to slaughter, you will do your work on water, and you lick the bloomin' boots of him that's got it. Now in India's sunny clime, where I used to spend my time, a servant of Her Majesty the Queen, of all them black-faced crew, the finest men I knew was our regimental bistie, Gunga Din. He was Din, you limpin' lump of brick dust, Gunga Din. Hi, slippy hither-o, water get it, Pani Lao, you squidgy-nosed old idol, Gunga Din. The uniform he wore was nothing much before, and rather less than half of that behind. For a piece of twisty rag and a goatskin water bag was all the field equipment he could find. When the sweatin' troop train lay in a sidin' through the day, where the heat would make your bloomin' eyebrows crawl, we shouted "Hurry by!" till our throats were bricky dry. Then we whooped him, 'cause he couldn't serve us all. It was Din, you heathen, where the mischief have you been? You put some juldy in it, or I'll marrow you this minute, if you don't fill up my helmet, Gunga Din. He would dot and carry on, till the longest day was done, and seemed to know the use of fear. If we charged or broke or cut, you could bet your bloomin' nut he'd be waiting 50 paces, right flank rear. With his mussick on his back, he would skip with our attack, and watch us till the brutals made retire. And for all his dirty-eyed, he was white, clear white inside, when he went to tend the wounded under fire. It was Din, with the bullets kicking dust spots on the green. When the cartridges ran out, you could hear the front rank shout, "High ammunition mules and Gunga Din." I shan't forget the night when I dropped by in the fight, with a bullet where my belt plate should have been. I was choking mad with thirst, and the man that spied me first was our good old grinning, grunting Gunga Din. He lifted up my head, and he plugged me where I bled, and he gave me half a pint of water green. It was crawling, and it stunk, but of all the drinks I've drunk, I'm gratefulest to the one from Gunga Din. It was Din, he's a beggar with a bullet through his spleen. He's chawing up the ground, and he's kicking all around. For God's sake, get the water, Gunga Din. He carried me away to where a dooli lay, and a bullet come and drilled the beggar clean. He put me safe inside. Just before he died, "I hope you like your drink," says Gunga Din. So I'll meet him later on, at the place where he is gone, where it's always double drill and no canteen. He'll be squatting on the coals, giving drink to poor damned souls, and I'll get a swig in hell from Gunga Din. Yes, Din, you Lazarusian leathered Gunga Din, though I've beaten you and I've flayed you by the living God that made you, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my performance.